Hey guys, so iOS 18.2.1. This software update has now been out for nearly a week. Apple released iOS 18.2.1 to the general public on Monday, January 6th. Today, as of the filming of this video, is Friday, January the 10th. So that means we had the entire week here to test the software on older devices as well as new devices and provide you guys with feedback on how the software is performing overall. Now, in this video, I also want to talk about my YouTube community poll. This is where you guys also vote and provide feedback on how the software is working for you. So let's go ahead and dive right into this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is a few improvements within iOS 18.2.1 that I've noticed over the past several days. Now, we already know that there's a slight increase in performance on the multi-core performance side of things. So this is a test on Geekbench 6. You see here iOS 18.2 versus iOS 18.2.1, obviously same device. And you see here that the multi-core performance has improved slightly by a little over 100 points, as you see here. So you see there we have 8,218 versus 8,387. So 18.2.1 does improve the multi-core performance. Although the single core performance drops slightly, we see an improvement on multi-core performance. Now, one thing I've seen improvements as well is within the camera. So the camera application on iOS 18.2, I've had several issues when switching through lenses or the front and rear camera or different modes. The camera would freeze, and sometimes when launching the camera application, it would just be a completely black screen. So I haven't encountered those issues just yet throughout the entire week of testing iOS 18.2.1. So I'll keep you guys posted, but so far it appears that any camera issues and freezing issues within the camera have been resolved on the iPhone 16 Pro Max for the entire week that I've been testing the software. Now, I also want to talk about, as I mentioned, some of the things that I've noticed are still issues for some users. Now, let's talk about the YouTube community poll because, as I mentioned, this is where you guys also provide feedback on how the software has been working for you. And as we go here into the YouTube community poll, you see here we have a good 73% of you guys are having a great experience. It's working good for you. We have 21% that say it's okay, but there's still some bugs. And then we have a 6% of you guys who say are having a terrible experience with iOS 18.2.1. So that's a little over 3,000 votes here. Now, as we go into some of the comments here, you see immediately some users expressing frustrations with iOS 18 in general, as you see here, one of the top comments. Now, the second comment below that says 2 to 3% overnight battery drain. So it looks like on standby mode, some of you guys are experiencing battery drain on iPhone. So right here, we also have another comment here. My screen still becomes unresponsive on the lock screen and in settings, as you can see right here. So it looks like still unresponsiveness on the display, and I have to talk about that here in just a couple of seconds because I've noticed a hit or miss on iOS 18.2.1. And overall here you see overnight battery drain, once again one of the most popular comments here. So it appears that battery drain overnight, basically on standby, it appears that the battery has been draining rather quickly for some iPhone users. And again, a lot of users expressing frustration with iOS 18. So let's talk about some of the things that I've noticed have not improved with iOS 18.2.1. Now, I've never had any battery issues on my iPhone with iOS 18.2 or iOS 18.2.1. The battery has been phenomenal actually for me, but as you see there, some users saying overnight battery drain is a concern for some of you guys. So it looks like there's still some issues with battery drain. Now, one issue that I do want to talk about, and this is somewhat concerning because on older devices, I reported some of the applications were crashing, and that continues to be the case here. With iOS 18.2.1, I've noticed Geekbench continues to crash when trying to run a performance test. I can't get a performance out of this device with 18.2.1. And there's also some issues with third-party apps like Instagram and YouTube, sporadic crashing. So older devices still having some performance issues, unfortunately, something that I did want to report. But I want to talk about those screen unresponsiveness. And now, by the way, if you want to test your display, I'll have my video link tutorial down below where you can actually test your iPhone's display using Apple's built-in tools to iOS. Very cool video. I think you should definitely check it out. Links will be down below. But in terms of unresponsiveness, I've noticed throughout the past week or so that I've been testing 18.2.1 that I haven't had any issues with the screen so far. Now, I'll keep you guys posted. It's only been about 5 days since Apple released 18.2.1, but I believe there's been somewhat of improvement. Now, some of you guys still have screen unresponsiveness issues. If you do, let me know in those comments down below. What iPhone are you using? Now, keep in mind that I'll give you guys another follow-up video in a couple of days, long-term follow-up here with iOS 18.2.1. But so far, it looks like some issues have been resolved, but most issues are still here, unfortunately. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this information helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.